Hello everyone, I'm Andy and I'm back with another video on Pocket Incoming. The Pokemon that I'm showcasing today is the one which I have wanted to make a video for a long amount of time, which is White Kyurem. And that is because White Kyurem is a very versatile Pokemon, which is going to be the next big SS Pokemon that comes into the game. And White Kyurem is going to be very important because you can actually fit White Kyurem in a lot of teams and build different kind of comps around White Kyurem. So let's get into it. Now to make White Kyurem, you need a 12-star Kyurem, an 8-star Reshiram or higher, 5 S+ copies of Dragon or Ice type as sacrifice in order to make the White Kyurem stone, 7 random S+ copies for sacrifice in order to make the keystone for evolution, and then you need another 200 red shards, 50 emerald stones, and 60 million gold. Now the way to make a 12-star Kyurem is if we have an 11-star Pokemon already in our teams, then we can use a permanent transfer, that is a permanent star transfer, and transfer those stars to Kyurem, hence making Kyurem 12 stars. Also, another thing that could happen is you might need to draw Kyurem when it comes in like a surprise draw or gacha for the 13 to 14 copies that you need to make the 12-star Kyurem. And the last option is get the 12-star copies, which require about 1360 red shards, that is the red universal shards, and use them all on Kyurem to make 12-star Kyurem from a 4-star Kyurem. Now, for the sacrifices required for White Kyurem mainly requires Ice and Dragon type sacrifices. And for that, it's very easy to obtain because there's Giratina shards which are obtainable from Gallop Store. There's Dialga shards which are obtainable from World Tournament. And then finally, you can get the rest of the 3 or 4 specific dragon sacrifices from Gacha or Bid War or something like that. And for the 7 random sacrifices that are required to make the keystone, what you need is just 7 S+ Pokemon, which you should have lying around by the time you are ready to make White Kyurem. Another point I need to mention here is that White Kyurem can easily be converted to Black Kyurem if you unfuse White Kyurem, like this will come up later, where you can unfuse White Kyurem and you can convert it into Black Kyurem at a minimal cost by just having an 8-star Zekrom instead of a Reshiram. So please do not miss out on White Kyurem, that is my advice. Now let's get into White Kyurem itself and why it is so good in the first place. As we can see here in the video that was released by Celsius, which is in the Chinese version, we have the skills for White Kyurem. And here we see that even with the first skill, it gains max HP and also does damage reflection. Now with the second skill, it's a 180% SP attack, single target move, and it applies the debuff which is Eternal Freeze. Now this can only be purified by Primal Kyogre, and what this CC does is it makes the enemy unable to move and unfreeze. And when they take damage reflection, if the target is under Eternal Freeze, it will also take damage which will not exceed X% of the SP attack of White Kyurem. This move also gives an Ice and Fire Holy Shield to the teammates, which is mainly Ice, Fire, and Dragon teammates which are in the back row for X amount of rounds. What this does is it gives X% damage reduction and X% real damage reduction. And when your friends or your teammates take damage, there is also a rebound attack which is X% of the SP attack, that is Ice and Fire element type damage. Now with the ultimate skill, it is a cross range attack which is X% SP attack, and it immediately triggers 1 layer of Frost Flame to target, and it protects the lowest HP Dragon Ice Fire type teammate but converting it into an ice mountain until the start of next round. And it also applies the weather effect, which is eternal night or eternal winter night for X rounds. Now, Frost Flame is a level 3 burning debuff which can stack up to layers, and it causes damage irrespective of whether the enemy is taking action or is frozen or burned. And the damage caused is X% of the max HP of the releaser, which is White Kyurem. This means that if he's frozen or burned, he will take damage, and when he's taking action, he will also take damage. And this damage can stack up to X layers, which is a burning debuff. Finally, there's also the Ice Mountain effect, in which the teammate will be sealed in ice plastic. It will not be able to move, can take damage, and will be immune to level 1 or level 2 debuffs and control effects, like burn, etc. And if it takes damage, it will be rebound onto the attacker with X% SP attack, which is of ice element type. And after taking X active attacks, the Ice Mountain effect will be broken. And finally, we have the Eternal Winter Night weather effect, which reduces the speed and dual defense, that is both the P defense and SP defense of enemies. And speed can't be higher than the current value, so speed is like capped at the current value for the enemies. Also, enemies under freeze cannot be shattered, and during freeze, that is, they cannot like lose their freeze debuff. And then finally, during freeze, they will also lose X% of the HP every round, that is when every round starts. It also increases the freeze rate for your teammates. And since White Kyurem will be at 11 stars when we make White Kyurem itself, there will also be an effect, that is when the Ice Mountain shatters, it will cause ice damage to all enemies, which will be X% of the SP attack for White Kyurem. And it will also be X% chance to add Eternal Freeze to the enemies for one round. Now, regarding the passive skill of White Kyurem, in battle, White Kyurem is treated as a fire type by teammates, and it is also immune to freezing. And when it attacks, it causes the Freeze Blood, which is the same as Ice Rider Calyrex, sorry. And when White Kyurem is on the field, it creates the Frost Flame Wall. Now, Freeze Blood is actually a level 1 debuff, which makes the enemy unable to use 10% of their max HP. And Frost Flame Wall is the effect, that is when Dragon, Ice or Fire type attacks are used, damage caused will be X% of the max HP of the enemy. And when enemy attacks, damage caused will be X% of their max HP, which is of the type of Ice and Fire, and will also add Flame Frost for X rounds. And all self-damage reflection is increased by their rebound rate. So if you have a lot of rebound rate through avatars or something, it will increase your damage reflection for all of your Pokemon. Now, because our White Kyurem will be at 6 stars, we will get another effect which is known as Fusion Snowflake, that is active skill damage taken cannot exceed X% of the max HP, which makes White Kyurem really tanky. And when being attacked, the rebound damage will be caused, which is of the ice element type, and it will be X% of the SP attack of White Kyurem to the attacker, and it will also add X% of Eternal Freeze to the attacker for X rounds. And this can happen up to X times each round. Now at 7 stars, after ally triggers Dragon Breath, it will make them trigger 1 Frost Flame Dragon Breath. Not only that, it will also increase the max HP limit for 1 Dragon type ally Pokemon. Now, Frost Flame Dragon Breath causes X% of the SP attack damage, which is of the Ice and Fire type, and it will also add 1 Frost Flame to target for X rounds. Now at 8 stars, when it takes lethal damage, it will enter Flame White Overdrive mode for X rounds, which is like an enraged mode where it will remove all debuffs from itself. It will have full HP and rage. It will also increase self X% crit rate, damage reduction, basic max HP, and will not be affected by anything else or other Pokemon. So as we can understand, White Kyurem is a very tanky Pokemon. It will also make the Fire, Dragon and Ice type Pokemon in your team very tanky due to the various shields like Frost Flame Wall that it will give to teammates. Not only that, it has various control effects where it causes freeze to teammates, which cannot be removed unless they have Primal Kyogre. It can also give burn damage to teammates and also rebound damage. So overall, White Kyurem is a very strong Pokemon to have. It is a very versatile Pokemon, and I will make another video tomorrow because this video is too long, showcasing all the teams that White Kyurem could feature in. So stay tuned for that one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.